Welcome back to the game. All teams in the UAAP will be battling out tomorrow for another serving of the women's volleyball matches. And to give us a preview of the Wednesday quadruple-header, we still have with us volleyball analyst Miss Noreen Go. Miss Noreen, thank you for staying. Again. This time we'll talk about UAAP.
All right, so Noreen, first off, we're not going to talk about FEU first kasi nandito naman siya. All right, but then Z, you should get the ball rolling here.
All right, let's start with the first match tomorrow happening. All the women's matches are happening tomorrow at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, by the way. So first up, we got DLSU versus UE. LaSalle looking for a really comfortable lead so far here in the elimination round.
Yeah, I mean, we have to mention that that's one of the best starts of LaSalle in a while. I mean, their fans and their community, they have to be happy. And tomorrow, of course, we expect the same. They're looking good. The rookies are blending well, so we expect that they will play well. Now, just a little, comment about UE. For UE, it's a slow start, but we know these players like Lana, Dana Nierva. They can just, have a good showing tomorrow and try to challenge LaSalle. So, at least to enjoy the game, at least, to make it interesting tomorrow.
The X factor that we actually listed down here, si Angel kanina ng DLSU. Let's see if she can continue building on her strong start to the season. But then the next game here, Ateneo against FEU. I could only imagine, Noreen. Let's talk about Z as if she's not here. How do you think Z Herbacio is feeling right now, considering it's FEU against Ateneo?
I think she's torn at the moment. but she's there. I can see her there. But, I think it's going to be an interesting game because, again, both these teams, they have their struggles. We know, especially Ateneo, I think we know that they're better than their previous matches. We've seen them last year, how they ended that season 84. So they're hoping, to bounce back to season 85. They just have to regroup. For me, regroup, set the emotions aside, and try to play a better game. Now for FEU, you started out really well. You won your first match against UP. I think it's a young team, but again, I look forward to the progress of FEU, right, See?
Right, you are. We are a very young team, and I have yet to see them grow and blossom in the 85th season of the UAAP.
All right, so I'm going to save Z Herbacio here and moving on to the next matchup because this is arguably one of the more intriguing ones here today.
Yes.
Adamson, for tomorrow rather, Adamson against UST. Louis Romero has been so fantastic for Adamson. Laure doing what Laures do in UST, which is basically score and put wins on the board. You take a look at this matchup, what will be the biggest difference between these two?
Oh, I'm so excited actually to watch that game because I'm not lucky enough to be following every game. But heard a lot about some other games, and UST Adamson is going to be all-out war for me because obviously both teams know their potential. UST just beat NU. Adamson took NU to 5 sets as well. Obviously, NU was a benchmark or is a benchmark this season because of their spectacular performance last season. So knowing that, with that mindset, I think tomorrow's all-out war. And you can't say that there's one that's more favorable based on the way they've been playing, right? So it's just going to be exciting to see Laure lead her squad together with Alessandrini. Of course, you mentioned Louis Romero. I mean, what a start, season 85. She's going to just make her teammates look better and better. But I guess tomorrow it boils down to who wants it more. Who wants it more in the first round is going to prevail.
Before we move on to the other match at hand, is there one thing that you really want to see happen tomorrow between Adamson and UST?
I want to see great floor defense. I mean, if it's a battle of will, you'll see it. And when they're trying to retrieve the ball, dive, sacrifice their bodies, I want to see great floor defense. The libero's going to work doubly hard. And of course, with great defense, now the challenge is how will the other players convert into offense. But boils down to great defense for me first.
All right, now moving on to the final matchup, it's going to be NU versus UP. NU, it feels like they always had that target on their back because of the way that they swept last season. And they always bring out the best in their opposition. Now, if you're UP, you're hoping that that's the case here, and I think we've seen already before that NU is a beatable team this season.
I love the way you said that because, they're in unfamiliar territory based on last season, right? So they are beatable. Now the question for NU is how will they bounce back from that? No, that's the challenge for these young, talented players. So I feel it's pretty much going to be like the LaSalle UE. You know that they're going to come out. They have to mature fast enough because they're looking at the entire season, not just the start of this season.
Yeah.
And they're going to try to play better. Now for you, for UP, for me, it's the same. Shaky start, but the start doesn't really define you. We saw great play from Itang, Bertolano. So, if they can actually play well at the same time with Costrillo, at least have a better showing in tomorrow's game.
All right, I think all of the teams have played at least 3 games so far, 4th tomorrow. What has been the biggest change so far in this season 85 in the UAAP?
I think all the teams are getting better. I mean, you're right, and you had a target their backs, but I think like you see UST, you see LaSalle, everyone's getting better. Other teams will follow suit. But I need to mention, you mentioned it earlier, Pao, Angel Canino. I mean, she is for me the next rookie sensation that UAAP is so excited to see blossom. So that's one thing that I've noticed at the start of this season.
Exciting stuff happening, and we're just getting started in the women's volleyball season. Noreen, maraming salamat. We can't wait to see you in studio next time, hopefully. All right.
Promise.